Good morning, everyone, and wherever you are. Welcome to another edition of this Saturday show. I'm Carl as your host. We'll have Reece joining us shortly. We'll talk about some all the games, the key games this past week as well. Looking at some, including games like the two Edinburgh derbies, the big Edinburgh derby between Hearts against Hibs later on today at 5:45. Also got Spartans against Edinburgh City, which is the other Edinburgh City derby. Before at 3 o'clock, we'll also talk about the situation at Nottingham Forest with and Ange, but Big Ange's being chatted by his old fans. You get sacked in the morning. We'll get some news about what his own situation is. He might will have to decide to look at removing Big Ange if the results don't improve. We'll look back at the rest of the Champions League week as well as the Europa League and also the key games this weekend as well, and look at all the home nations squad announcements for the upcoming games for England, Scotland, and Wales and Northern Ireland as well. So let's get on with the fixtures of today's fixtures. We've got the early lunchtime Premier League game at the moment at Ellen Road, which I will be going off joining. We'll be watching that before half 12, which is Leeds against Spurs coming up today. Only 4 games in the Premier League as well. Arsenal at home against West Ham. Sunderland, they go away to a struggling Manchester United. It's a big game at 5:30 between Chelsea against Liverpool as well, which is the Saturday night football kickoff later on today. In the Championship, we got some couple of results as well. Blackburn, they're at home against Stoke, who took second place, third place Stoke. Sheffield United, they're without Chris Wilder, who's serving a touchline ban. They go away to Hull. Coventry City, they've had a good start. They're up in second. They go away to Sheffield Wednesday. Bristol City against QPR. Derby at home against Southampton. Millwall against West Brom. Middlesbrough go away down to Portsmouth. Charlton go up to Lancashire to face Preston. Swansea at home to Leicester, and Watford at home to Oxford. And there's 3 games in the Scottish Premiership where Dundee United against Liverpool at 3 o'clock, St Mirren go away to Kilmarnock, and it's the big game at 5:45 between top of the table Hearts against Hibs at 5:45 kickoff as well. Only a couple of games in League One we'll look at as well. Bradford did play earlier this week against Rotherham, so we'll be looking at the other teams that are top of the table. One team we need to see is Stevenage. They're home to Luton, who are in second place. Lincoln City, they're at home to Exeter as well, alongside with Huddersfield. They're at home to Stockport. Cardiff against Leyton Orient as well. And then the bottom clash as well, the table, Peterborough against who are away at Bolton as well. So yeah, we've got some really good fixtures. Wickham, they're at home to Barnsley, So some key more games today as well. Into League Two, MK Dons, they're home to Gillingham, which Gillingham unbeaten run is was stopped this past couple of games. Walsall, they're home to just look again. Walsall, they're home to Bristol Rovers. Swindon Town, they go away to Newport at 12:30. Let's see here, Salford City, they're at home to Grimsby, fourth versus fifth, which is another tiger as well. So yeah, we've got some good key games coming up today as well, and also in the Scottish League Two. It's the other Edinburgh derby between Spartans against Edinburgh City. Myself, Reece, who will be joining us, and also Doug will be joining us at 3 o'clock today. We'll go to that game down at Aisley Park today as well, before the international break comes along this week come in. Let's go into look at the European leagues as well, and the Special Liga. Real Madrid home to Villarreal at 8 o'clock. Athletic Bilbao gets Mallorca. Valencia go away to Girona in Catalonia as well. And also the German Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen home to Union Berlin. And it's a 5:30 kickoff between Frankfurt and Bayern Munich later on today, this evening. Serie A, Inter Milan against Cremosa, Atalanta against Como is one of the key games in Serie A as well. And also in League 1 as well. Not big games. Marseille go over to Metz, and Auxerre at home to Lens as well. And then going to Sunday's games, there's 4 key games in the Premier League tomorrow as well. 5 actually, sorry. There's 5 Premier League games as well. So Aston Villa, they're at home to Burnley. Everton gets Crystal Palace. Newcastle gets Nottingham Forest. Wolves against Brighton. You can see all those games on Sky Sports Plus. If you got Motor, you can watch all those games at the same time. And also the 4:30 kickoff between Brentford against Man City. And tomorrow it's the East Anglian derby between Ipswich against Norwich. That is kicks off at 12 p.m. tomorrow. And then we've got some Scottish Premiership games coming up with Aberdeen at home to Dundee. Motherwell go away to Celtic. and Folk at home to a Rangers side that did beat Kilmarnock last weekend, but they did lose away at Stone Grants as well in the Europa League stages as well. And also looking down in the Spanish League, Barcelona go away to Sevilla, Espanyol gets Real Betis, Real Sociedad gets Real Vallecano, and Celta Vigo gets Atletico. The big game in tomorrow in the Bundesliga is Stuttgart against Heidenheim and Gladbach against Freiburg as well. And also in the Serie A, huge games tomorrow as well. 5 o'clock is Napoli against Girona in the even kick off. Before that, Roma go away to Fiorentina, and it's a big game between Juventus and AC Milan. We'll get to Reese's take on the big game because he's a big AC Milan fan. And also in the League PSG go away to Lille, which is one of the key games tomorrow in League and Strasbourg home to Angers, and Lyon gets Toulouse as well. So, yeah, those are all the games that is coming up this next couple of days before the international break. And we'll also get the team news from Ellery Leeds Spurs. If you're new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the hype channel for any upcoming videos and stuff as well. So let's go into some comments. Good morning, Stefan. Yes, I know you're looking forward to short. I hope you're looking forward to the derby as well. It's a big game. I take it you're going to go to the game today, the game at Tynecastle. If not, probably you'll be watching it on Premier Sports later on today. So, yeah, it's a big derby between both of our sides. Good morning, Chris. Yes, we're all well, and you give us some big games as well. Yeah, thank you for mentioning a big game. Yeah, Forest Green against Rochdale, first against second. While Carlisle go away to Scunthorpe, third versus fourth. Yeah. I think your National League season is going to be quite exciting. Who finishes top of the table? So, yeah, really some huge games coming up today as well. So we'll keep an eye on that during the course of this show of the next hour and a half as well. So let's look at this past week as well. And the big news we have to talk about is what's going on at Nottingham Forest with Big Ange. There's been a lot of criticism from sets of fans, at the moment. And look, he signed a 2-year deal to replace Nuno. He's failed to win any of his first six matches at the start of the season, and we'll get Reese's take when he joins us in a shortly as well too. But there's been a lot of pressure mounting, and the owner Marinakas will not hesitate to remove the coach if performance don't improve. And like I said, the way they lost to Michelin this past week of 3-1, they got a huge game against Newcastle tomorrow. It's a tough result, and I think where you hear the fans of, and it's the Nottingham Forest fans, not the visitor fans, the Nottingham Forest were singing, you're getting sacked in the morning, singing you're getting sacked in the morning, and it just shows so much of a poor performance of what's been happening. It's I think the owner has made a huge mistake of sacking probably a very popular coach like Nuno, who was very popular with the fans and got them back into European football. I really had a good season last season, and look where they are now. It's just it's a huge mess. It's a huge mess at the moment at the City Ground. They lost Arsenal in the Big Ange's first game, lost the game to Swansea after they were winning the game in the Carabao Cup. Then drawn against Forest, drawn against Betis, a late draw against Betis, which should have won that game. Lost to Sunderland last weekend and then lose to Michelin 3-2. There's a bit of a divide that's going on at the moment at the Forest fans. Some people should expect to give Ange a bit of time. Some of them want him to go. And this is the worst start by a Nottingham Forest boss in 100 years. That is damning to see that is the worst start for Nottingham Forest in 100 years. And there's got to be a lot of questioning going on with what, especially when you let an owner who's actually very vocal, especially when he ran onto the pitch last season when they drew against Leicester. There's something was not right with the club, but the way they changed the style of going from one style as very defensive, counter-attacking, to try to go to what Ange plays as attacking, a bit more up front, a bit more pressing. It's not good at the moment when you're a Forest fan with the results are not going your way. But if Ange doesn't win tomorrow, he will be the first head coach since 1960 to win of any of his first four league games at the club. That is going to be a record he does not want out, and he's in a personal rut. He's been winless in the last 10 games. If you take into consideration back to his last 7 games at Tottenham before he was set to end of last season as well. But if he will leave to June to international break, he's likely to break Alex McLeish's 40-day tenure as far as boss back in 2012, and also Sam Allardyce's record of 30 days at Leeds in the shortest Premier League reign as well. And Chris, like has made a good point. Ange is who we are. That's what he said. It's who we are, and he backs what I said. It was never the right point to go away from one star to another. All of a sudden, having questions about this nonsense. Who's point his best mate? Yeah, that's what it feels like. He pointed his best mate as well. So, oh, morning, Reese. I will send you the link as well. So don't you worry. I'll regenerate that, and hopefully I'll send that in the chat as well. So Reese will join us shortly as well. So yeah, but it's frustrating. It's been frustrating. It's been a bit of a shit show, which for them as well. He said he can't afford to what's going to happen this week. He said in his press conference he's trying to focus, get his foot back on form, but like he said, it's crazy at the moment what's been happening. Especially with what's been going on at the club. With Nuno was not happy with Edu and so forth with the ownership. It was so there's huge questions completely as well. So yeah, we'll get hopefully Alexa Reese is set up and ready. Good morning, Reese.
I certainly am. Morning.
Good morning. We're just talking about Big Ange's probably worst start. Six not winning any 6 games, and can you the fan reaction on Thursday said it all, especially with the Forest fans singing "You're getting sacked in the morning, getting sacked in the morning." Is this club becoming so toxic again because the fans are being divided with the pro Ange and the anti Ange?
Ooh, I have a rare take. I think it doesn't matter who the manager is. I think the fans are starting to see the owner for what he truly is. I think Nuno being so good and then the way he got sacked was masking Marinakis a little bit, even though everyone knew he was a legit psychopath for what he does in Greece.
Yeah,
I think Nuno was kind of masking him. And the minute he went after him at the end of last season for not finishing the Champions League places, which again I said to you is incredibly unrealistic for someone in one season, it's just ridiculous. I think the mask slipped off. You know what I mean? I feel like it was bridging in and it ripped apart. And I think the minute he sacked him, didn't matter who was coming in, curtains.
yeah, absolutely. It's you know his record his Raiders record is going back to the last 7 games, especially what happened at Spurs end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that some of the player, his tactics is open the cracks, especially at Forest at the moment. The way they lost to Sunderland last weekend, a 1-0 defeat, and last Saturday, then losing to Mitchell and 3-2 on Thursday as well. It's such a poor start for a Forest manager in 100 years, and that is a long time. And if he goes, he's going to break the record of Sam Allardyce's record, and also who was at least for 30 days, and also Alex McLeish's record, who was there for 40 days. It just shows so much. Like I said, the owner with Marinakis, the mask is slipped off completely, and like what Chris said, I remember, Chris has made a good point. Everyone praising O for having standards. Yeah, well, what standards were they, especially with his record? Not just here but also in Greece. So
Exactly. I think the situation has definitely escalated for them. And the fact is, he's allowed it to happen by being who he is the problem. I'm all for an owner having high standards of a football club they own and they want to do well. I understand that. I agree with that. But when you purposely put your own personal opinions over the manager, it's over. And let's be real, Marinakis has no clue when it comes to managing a football team. Yes, he owns a football team, but there's a difference. There's managing, then there's owning. He's thinking, oh, Nuno could get us the Champions League, and that's our objective. When the last time they were in the Champions League, it wasn't even called the Champions League; it was the old European Cup.
Yeah.
So Marinakis is already deluded. But then you get rid of Nuno, who didn't. Let's be real, Forest didn't have a bad start to the season.
No.
They weren't that bad. The problem is Nuno had to win every single game. Like, let's be real, this is how sad it is for Nuno. Nuno basically had to go the whole season unbeaten just to keep his job. That's that's the level of screwed he was. He basically had to do an Arsenal and hope that Forest win the league just to prove Marinakis wrong. Because Marinakis has now binned him. He's now gone to West Ham. They had a lucky draw against Everton, but that was the first game of the season for him. But the reality of it is now, where he's at, Nuno's going to turn West Ham around, and what's Ange going to do? No one knows. And no, I don't think Celtic made a mistake, because if you look at
No.
the style of football, Celtic played some very good football, and they were winning domestic trophies no problem. But in Europe, Brendan Rodgers is far better in Europe for Celtic.
Yeah, then Big Ange, yeah.
Celtic need a manager that can do both the European and the domestic. And it's not Brendan Rodgers, let's be real, and it's not Ange Postecoglou. And it never was. His style of play is exciting, but the problem is and I like Ange Postecoglou, but I still have to say it, his football is so risky that not even a nun would want to play.
No.
Because they would be split apart by a couple of priests. The whole situation for them, with Ange Postecoglou, is simple. His football is good, but there's so many drawbacks.
Yeah. What do you think will happen now between now and the international break? What's your take on it? Do you think Marinakis will just eventually get rid of him if they don't beat Newcastle? Because we heard from Sky Sports News, they did reveal that if the results don't improve, they even though he retains the support of Big Ange, but do you just think it's now in the NFL this is going to happen?
Oh yeah, this is like just like the whole reports about another manager that no doubt will come onto today. This weekend is potentially the last game for Ange, and if he does get sacked after this, then I'll be surprised if any Premier League club goes for him after this.
Let me tell you something. As a Leeds fan, I would not touch him. Would not even touch him. I would not touch him. I think Farker is, despite his weaknesses, there is at least he's been a lot more pragmatic compared to what we were under Bielsa, and I think that's
Mhm.
been the difference where it's been why we've been when we should have just won against Bournemouth. But both a good team. We should have won it just.
I
But
don't
like
know.
I said, I was happy with the draw because we've done we start decently despite we've lost 2 games and drawn 2 and won 2. I think it's been a bit of a decent start because that's what my expectations were for the start of the season. But if I took an Ange right now, I just worry about the vulnerability that we'll have if we've played his style.
Yeah, I also think as well, he's went into a job where the difference between what Ange had at Spurs and Ange has at Forest is European football. Ange had no European football in his first season as
Yeah,
well. So it allowed him the chance to get the squad prepared. I mean, a proper manager doesn't care what's in front of them, but a proper manager also has to be realistic. And Ange is a proper manager, but the issue is his style of football is so draining that if he played European football in his first season at Tottenham, he would have been sacked by Christmas.
yeah,
And I firmly stand on that. Spurs played some very good football in that first season. They were leading the league for several months as well because they were playing so good.
yeah. They were.
But the problem with that style of football is the more energy you burn, and if you're not a player who's heavily technical, well, not I was going to say technical, but physical and like got a strong tank in you, you'll fade. And obviously, the difference in like the South American players are natural engine rooms.
Yeah,
It's the climate they come from. Like the one thing Ange should have done is he should have stockpiled Asian players in his team or German players
yeah,
like that are actually like heavily physical because that's what Ange does. His football is so good on a technical level, but it relies on a lot of physical attributes. And That's why he's so much of a fan favorite for the Asian community.
Yeah, yeah, very much. He is undoubtedly.
Exactly, Chris. That's a good way to explain it.
Yeah, that is true. That is a fair point. Actually, it is a good comparison. Actually, yeah,
I think another way to explain it, and this is a way that works, and this is kind of how I would describe Ange Postecoglou. Terms of football that I like, Luis Enrique, Hansi Flick, Julian Nagelsmann, etc. They can all play the Usain Bolt. They can all do the sprint when necessary, but their teams are also the Mo Farah. They go the distance. They can last because they're able to smartly rotate and they're able to plan ahead.
yeah,
Ange Postecoglou, for the first half, when he's got enough preparation, he is Mo Farah. But when he's got nothing to him, it's all Usain Bolt and hope he can ride it out like Tyson Gay. And
yeah,
if he can't ride it out like Tyson Gay, he's got to keep going like Usain Bolt. He can't get it back into the middle, which is the Mo Farah, which is the long last marathon.
yeah.
That's how I compare Ange Postecoglou.
Oh yeah, absolutely as well. I've just got team news. Some leads are unchanged from the last game against Bournemouth. Spurs also, which is not surprise. They neither won game, so Darlow still in net. Lucas Perry should be back after his break. He has recovered from his fire problem, but Daniel Farker's not going to take no risk with him. So it's Darlow, Bogle, Strike, Road, and Goodmanson in the goalkeeper in the back four, and it's Longstaff, Ampadu, Stack, Anton Stack, and Harrison Carroll and Alphacut up front. We do expect that there's no Dan James or Willie and until they're out injured. They'll be back after international break. So we'll so we have got James Justin on the bench with Melier, Jakob Bono, Gurev, Tanaka, House, and Nipcha and Peru. Spurs, they've got no Kolomani. He's out injured as well, which thought he was going to come back as well. But also Chris Romero should be starting against Leeds after missing Tuesday with a foot injury, but no Dominic Solanke, but Karatanante's new to return. So the Spurs side that's been announced as well. So Ricardo's in goal with Poro, Romero, Van de Ven, and Ugunde, Palina, Bentico, Kudos in the midfield, and Simmons, Aldebert, and Tell up front, the up three as well. So yeah, not much changes for Leeds. But going back to Big Ange as well, like you said, it's like you said, you just make a good comparison. It's like you saying Bolt, but you just that is such a good comparison. It's like what Chris Watts said about a Formula One car uses his batteries quite early, and that is the issue. He's like you say, he's stubborn to change his style to fit this forest side. When you see other Glasner does it quite well with all the clubs that he's been through, he has always changed his system to make sure it fits the players that he had. And look where Palace is at the moment. You know, the beat Dimitri this past week in the first
Yeah.
European proper competition such a long time. It just shows you managers like Glasner and Farker can adapt and change. So even give credit to Scott Parker, despite his flaws he had in the past. At least he's trying to be a bit more adaptive and like, okay, I can't play this way like a Russell Martin can do, and vice versa. So yeah, I think you're definitely right. I just think there's a huge issue with that completely as well. So yeah, but let's move on to another manager we need to talk about. And we'll have a talk about this. As a Man United fan yourself, is this, if you don't beat Sunderland today, is this bye bye completely?
It has to be. Like, there's no coming back from this. If we do not beat Sunderland, it is absolutely all over. Like, I don't know what more can actually be done to save his job. He's been told numerous times that as good as his system is, it's not working. He has to change. And he had an interview with Owen Hargreaves during the week, and he's like, "Oh, I grew up on Serie A, and I grew up on this and all that." I was like, "Mate, you're only a couple of years older than I. You're not even that old. You're like compared to what I am. You didn't really grow up on Serie A.
No.
Like, let's be real. Like if you
Serie
grew up,
A was more is more defensive for what we've grown up with.
yeah, like if he grew up on Serie A, he would know that not every team in Serie A back in the 90s played a fucking 3-4-3.
Yeah,
The best Serie A teams in the 90s played a 4-4-2, or they played a 4-3-1-2, or Marcello Lippi played a 4-3-3. So he's already talking bollocks. If he says he grew up on the importance of Serie A in the 2000s, where a lot of teams mixed between the back three and the back four, then so be it.
yeah,
In the 80s, only four or five teams in the 80s played a back three in Serie A.
yeah,
They all played back fours, heavy back fours that were filled with great technical players. So Amarim talks a good talk, but he's talking bullshit.
yeah. Oh yeah,
So, like, they can defend in a back three, of course, but they never played a back three. They played a back four. So, the only team that actually did well playing a back three in the 90s in Serie A was Parma.
Parma's the only team I could think of. Yeah,
Yeah, Lazio were a mixture. It was the first champion of the 2000s in Serie A was Roma. They played a 3-4-1-2.
yeah,
But that's when the rules conveniently changed about foreign players. Because conveniently Roma had Nakata in that team as well and he was unable to play. Gets to January, oh, you can now play 7 foreign players in your first team squad. Boom, Roma go and win the league.
league they did. Yeah,
You know, to be fair, they were going to win the league anyway that season. Anyway, they were the best placed team to win the league.
at the
But
time there was no one else could come close to it at the time.
yeah,
So
but it elevated to the sense like to be fair, like the Milan team that won the league in the 90s, 98, 99, they were a 3-4-3. But nobody expected Milan to win the league because Milan were that bad in this couple of seasons prior. Like Milan were horrible to watch. So of course Zaccheroni's going to win the league in his first season. When you sign Bierhoff, you've got you've got Weah, George Weah. I nearly said Timothy Weah. Thank God I didn't. George Weah, Oliver Bierhoff. You had Leonardo who came in as a shock. You had Serginho on the left midfield. Maldini was at left centre back
yeah,
because he decided not to play him as a left back,
left back. Yeah,
which to be fair, I get it. Maldini's great everywhere, but I'm like, of course you're going to win the league if you're not a favourite when Ronaldo's injured and Del Piero was gone. The real Del Piero was gone in 98, 99 because he got a really bad injury.
mm,
Yes, Del Piero was still world class when he came back, but he was never the same Del Piero that
no,
people remember. He was different, but he wasn't like the explosive was gone, but the genius was still there. It was different. He played a different way when he came back from injury. So of course Milan are going to win the league. Parma bottled it. Lazio bottled it. So, but then after that, Milan went straight back down. So like it wasn't until they went back to a back four under Ancelotti that
yeah,
they were consistent again, and they were the best team in Europe for about 4 or 5 years. They just should have done better in the Champions League, but like in circumstance, Amorim said that he started out as a 4-4-2 manager and then he thought, well, the 3-4-3 helps him dominate in games. Fella, the best way you can dominate games is you just go back to a 4-3-3. You can dominate that way. You can have the team defend in a back three if you want. But the team should be as a back four.
yeah.
These players are good enough to play in a back four. I don't think they're comfortable in a back three.
No, I don't. I've said that from day one. I think he's only picked up 33 points as something compared to all the other managers above him, and they got double the points, like 50 plus. And like, how is this that bad then? If you know,
Yeah, like I don't think he's a bad manager. I just think I think he's just misread the situation. And the only reason Glasner's done well at Palace in a back three is because Palace had already been playing in a back three. It just wasn't as exciting. It wasn't as effective. He made it exciting. He made it effective.
yeah,
Manchester United in a back three did it a few times under Solskjaer. They were lucky to get results, but they had game changers in the squad that done it. This team as a back three ain't working the situation. He needs to go back to a back four. If the players actually cared about playing the back three, they would have done so by now.
Yeah,
I don't think the players want to play in a back three. I think they want to play for Amorim, just not in this back three.
no. So why is the players have not been vocal to say, look, Ruben, look, boss, we can't play this system anymore. Something has to change. Players in the back four, it might work. It might, you get the best, because at the moment, this is what's affecting those results. You know,
Exactly.
and I'm surprised no one, not even the Man United, not even the leadership at Man United, the players are not said nothing. I'm like, how is this? They've not told, to Amri said, look, change the system.
Yeah, like if he's so insistent on playing that three at the front, the three at the front the way he does with the two tens and the striker. Last time I checked, Carlo Ancelotti is famous for playing the Christmas tree. He's basically playing the three at the back Christmas tree, but the four at the back is better. It gives him an extra man in midfield. He can play effectively three central midfielders, one playing as a holding midfielder. He could play two tens and he could play a striker.
Yeah,
It's not hard to just push people back a bit. It's so easy. Like I've already shown on here before, like I would go to the back four. I think realistically you could space out maybe like I think this is from free working of Embuemo, Cunha, Sesko. I mean, Sesko did get his first goal last time out, but I think realistically, would Embuemo be the better striker?
yeah,
And would it be better to play Fernandez, Cunha, and Embuemo as a front three, Sesko as a rotation? But then that's hard for Sesko because you pay big money for him.
yeah, exactly.
So it's awkward. The only other option is he plays the three in Buemo, Cunha, Sesko, but he puts Sesko and Cunha as wingers, and gives them the responsibility to still come in and do the attack midfield role, and he plays Fernandez in a central role. I don't know what else he can do to change it, but I don't want to see him fail. But he is failing because he's so stuck to his system. And I get it. A manager with principle is a good thing, but a manager shouldn't just be adaptable. A manager should be proactive. I've said it on the World of Football podcast so many times. I sound redundant now. The best managers for me are the ones that force the league to adapt to them, not
Yeah.
not the league adapt, not them adapting to the league. Make the league adapt to them. Like that's pure and simple why the best managers always win.
Mm,
So like Amorim, if he wants to win the Premier League, force the league to adapt to him. Play the 4-3-3, but don't change the way you play football. If you still want to play dominant, pressing football that uses transitions on the counter, do it. It works. Like, there's no shame in saying, you know what, maybe my system isn't wrong, but the style of play works. The style of play does work because we've dominated teams like Arsenal, etc. Like, that's not by accident. Like, we dominated Arsenal, we just lost a fluky goal.
yeah.
But if we did that in a back four, we make less chance of space being exposed, like so easy, and we can beat teams upfield with more numbers. But I think it's because of the whole thing of like teams play attack and transition of a 2-3-5 or a 3-2-5, and I'm like, yes, they do, but it's easier to do that with a back four where you've
Yeah.
actually got another defender there to marshal the defense. I think he needs to change. If he doesn't, he's out the door. At least the bonus is at least Gareth Southgate is not in the running for the job anymore.
No,
Thank
no.
God. But I hope it's not an ex-manager, an ex-player. Sorry, I do not want to see an ex-player get the job. I've already put on my Twitter. If it's not one of five names, I don't care who gets the job.
Yeah. Who's your five names you meant?
Nagelsmann, Flick,
Yeah.
Enrique, Simeone, Conte.
Okay, that's not a surprise. And do you know I was mentioning this to Andrew Rogers about this about what you said last week, and I said he said exactly the same when you said he said the same names. He said the same names what you were thinking just now. Those top, I thought, yeah, I'm not surprised, And I
Always.
know there's been. I was hearing from the idiot Fabrizio Romano.
Mm,
He has mentioned Xavi as well. I'm like, I just don't know that could work.
no.
No, that's what I thought. I'm just like, really?
Like, I think Xavi's a decent manager, but like again, I don't think going to United is the answer. I think if it was a Manchester City after Pep leaves, it makes sense.
It would have made valuable sense for that. Yeah,
But for us, no, like Luis Enrique might make sense because Luis Enrique isn't your typical Spanish tiki taka manager. He likes to play with the press. He likes to play with the counter attack. Like
yeah.
he's basically Man United in a Spanish equivalent.
Yeah.
So like that's why he's the only Spanish manager I would take. I like Iriola, but I do not want Iriola. I absolutely do hope. I'm glad that Graham Potter will never get the job because if he did, I would stop.
I can't see him get a job in the Premier League anymore. Now he's done completely. He's done, and
Yeah,
I think when I mean done, I mean done.
and I don't think Man United will go back down the Portuguese route after this.
No,
I think after this, that's it. They won't even consider a Portuguese manager again. I hope we don't end up with a French manager because then I'll have to really bite my tongue. Because
it won't be Zidane because he's going to be going. He's going to take the national team job once Deschamps is gone. So
I like Zidane, but I made an analogy about Zidane the other day, and I stand by it. I've always liked Joachim Low's Germany team, but Joachim Low has been out the game for so long that the
yeah,
game passed him by. Like Zidane has been out the game for like 3 4 years now, and he may still be watching football, but he hasn't coached the team.
mm-mm.
So in circumstances, he's been out the game so long that he's like the dream that you had of someone you'd love to see at your club, but it's such a hell of a risk that there's no guarantee it's going to work.
Yeah,
And because he's been out the game so long, I don't know if maybe it's the right answer for him. That's why I'm like, that would be cool, but it's such a risk. And right now, Man United don't need a risk. Man United need a surefire option.
yeah.
That I know a lot of United fans don't want a Conte or a Simeone, and I'm like, because they play defensive or they play a certain way of
Well,
football.
Simeone is trying to move away from that. He's trying to move away from that. We've seen glimpses that especially the beat Real Madrid last weekend. Actually,
Exactly, back to back 5 goal wins, and I'm
yeah,
like, yes, he's a manager who builds a solid foundation, but he knows how to get his players working, and he is someone who gives freedom to his attacking players, but he keeps everyone else doing their jobs.
yes,
But I hate that people think they're defensive. They're not. They are very proactive managers who can adapt to their climate, but they are so damn proactive.
yeah,
Hansi Flick is just a phenomenal attacking manager, but he knows how to keep his teams alive. That's chaotic, but it's my kind of chaos. Nagelsmann is just my manager's dream, and Enrique, well, I've already said what I think about them. They don't, anyone who's not those five names, I don't care. Like I won't even if they get the job, I won't be behind them. Like I actually don't care anymore. Like if for example, if the job was given to Zidane, I'm a Zidane football fan. Always been a fan of Zidane. If he gets the job, I don't care. Like I actually don't care anymore.
mm,
If it's not one of those five names, I don't want to fucking hear it.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, absolutely.
And if we do get some bizarre reason, if we do end up with Simeone, then I only have one request: Julian Alvarez.
We should have got what Ralph Raniak said years, a couple of seasons ago. You let him go to Man City. Yeah,
Even funnier, as Paul Merson said in the summer, we should have signed Julian Alvarez, which is absolutely funny. But I'm like, Rangnick tried. But I'm like, yeah, I actually think if Simeone got the job, that would be probably one of his few requests. He would be like, anything you can, get me this man. And at least we would either play a 4-3. To be fair, Simeone's first Atletico team, I remember it clear as day. He played a 4-2-3-1.
he did. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
He played a 4-2-3-1, and it was absolutely brilliant. And then he started to change it around because he was like, I don't know if that's the right system for me. Do I want to play a natural number 10 with my
yeah,
two midfielders? No, I'm going to play a 4-4-2, but I'm going to let one of the strikers play that deeper role so they can be the playmaker. And then he
yeah,
went to the back three because the 4-4-2 didn't win the league for him anymore. Now he's gone back to the 4-4-2, and Atletico Madrid are scoring goals left, right, and centre. And I'm like, people don't like this man. He's the highest paid manager in the world for a reason.
yes,
Like he knows what he's doing. It's absolutely funny, and I think the only reason why people don't like Simeone is because if it's against you, you hate it. but if it's for you, you love it. And
Love
I'm like,
it. Yeah.
exactly. And I'm like, name any football team in the world that would say no to Simeone if it meant you're guaranteed a good defensive shape, you're guaranteed your attacking players are not going to be held back, and you're guaranteed to win trophies. He may not win the league every single year, but Simeone competes every single bloody season for a trophy.
And there's a reason for it. Why he got to two Champions League finals in the last decade, over the last decade or so. There's
Yeah,
a reason why he's won two La Liga trophies. There's a reason why they've been one of the best teams that don't concede more than 30 goals in a season. Tell
exactly.
me, yeah,
Exactly. Like it's. To be fair, I did one club at United years ago. Same with like the likes of Ancelotti. But if you give me names right now out of a hat, the five names I said, Simeone's right up there. And I think it's funny that people laugh off his football, but look at the teams that he has absolutely ruined in the Champions League over the years. There's two Liverpool fans in the chat, and he mugged them at Anfield
yeah,
and at the Wanda. He mugged them
yeah,
off. He mugged off Barcelona. He's mugged off Real Madrid numerous times. He ended Mourinho's reign by beating him in the Copa del Rey
yeah,
final in extra time. Like, you can't. I get it. If you don't like a certain style of football, I get it, right? But last time I checked, football is about winning trophies, not about saying who plays the prettiest football. Because if you want to say that, then that's why Arsenal win nothing, because that's all they're obsessed with.
yeah,
But like, if you really want to win, you go for someone that wants to win. Why do you think? Here's a newsflash. Why do you think Massimo Allegri is top of the league with Serie A?
yeah. Exactly.
And
Right.
I had people doubting me saying Milan were going to do nothing this season because Allegri went back. I was like, no, Milan will win Serie A, and
Yeah.
and they've got Juventus tonight, tomorrow,
Tomorrow, exactly. Yeah.
and they're going to beat them. So
Yeah, that exactly what I was saying. Yeah, so if you don't want Simeone, you're not going to take a manager has won two Europa League titles, two Super Cups, one Copa del Rey, two La Ligas, and one Copa de España. And you telling me you would not choose him for someone else?
exactly. And bear in mind as well, this is he is one of three managers, in my opinion, that deserves to win a Champions League as a
I
man.
agree. Yeah, I do
Sim-
agree.
Simeone deserves to win it as a manager. Conte does deserve to win it as a manager. Let's be real. The man is great for domestic football, but he deserves a Champions League or
Yeah,
even a European trophy as a manager. And I've just literally just said his name. Allegri deserves to win a Champions League as a manager because you can't get to those finals playing the right type of football and then get screwed. It's a shame.
yeah.
Yeah, Marcus Llorente is a phenomenal player. He's another player I would have at United. I don't care the fact he's in his 30s.
I don't. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with you because he would make. Yeah, I would not be surprised. I think he fits that United style if Simeone was there. Yeah,
Like, you look at how great he was. He's a brilliant central midfield player. And then Simeone goes, you've got so much pace to burn and you've got such good technical ability. I'm going to put you as my right wide midfielder, my 4-4-2. You're going to play wide right and you absolutely smash it. And then he goes, I do like Molina at right back, but I think you might be better because you can definitely, you're much more creative. And now he's the first choice right back for Atletico Madrid. And I'm like, doink, doink, doink.
yeah.
Does that not remind you of another European player, central midfield player, wide right into right back into midfield, now back at right back? Does that not remind you of another world class player?
Mm,
Marcus Llorente is the Spanish Joshua Kimmich, except he's older.
exactly. Yeah.
The only thing that he hasn't got on him is he's not the captain of his country. That's the only difference between him and Llorente. But in terms of quality players, like I don't get how people can write him off when you look at Julian Alvarez, you look at Griezmann, you look at Sorlot, three fantastic players in La Liga that arguably could get in any team in the world,
Yeah. Oh yeah, hands down.
and none of them look unhappy when they play. Like
No.
that, they look like they genuinely love their football. When they're not scoring, they're unhappy, but when they get subbed off for the other to come off the bench, I don't see any one of them having a fit, having a riot, because you can
No,
see
they
that
don't.
Simeone's got them on side. Same with that Correa as well. Whether he plays as a winger or he plays as one of the front two, he's never in a huff,
No.
and that says a lot. Like that says a lot. But no, no, no. He's just an explosive manager. You can't have. He's just a guy who dresses in black suits. He's just a mafia man. No, 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 no. He's a proper manager with high standards. That's the difference.
That is the difference indeed. Yeah, that is the difference indeed.
Bugs me off like that. People are not. People say no to these types of managers, but they'll go for some hipster shit, and I'm like, behave yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning, Doug. Yes, yeah. I'm a bit surprised that Richarlison's on the bench. I did not expect that was going to happen. I thought he would have been in the, but
He
it
should have
looks like,
started. He should have
yeah,
against your team. He would have a field day.
he would. And I know that for a fact. I know, and actually, if you start with Richarlison, you're going to have a field day against us. And that's why I was a bit surprised with that one. But look, Farker, look, like I said, Thomas Farker might see something different, but if at least his Spurs don't start well in the first 10-15 minutes, then yeah.
100%. And to agree with Doug as well, I think Unai Emery's fine, but Unai Emery is. I still say what I said last week. Unai Emery is definitely still under pressure.
Yeah, there's no change on that one.
Yeah, they have to. The European form is there, but they really need to try and reclaim their league form. But again, they got pillaged because of PSR, which I still don't understand.
Yeah, well, speaking about that, actually, I know the Premier League came out, which I said that they are going to replace the PSR, what the UEFA is going to be, but they'll have a bit more. Like I think I think the PS the cost the squad per ratio I think they have in UEFA it's about 70%. I think it's going to be higher than 85-90%, bit
Mm.
higher than yeah. So
I think there should be certain leeways on football clubs. PSR is literally an exercise to just destroy football clubs from within.
it does. Like teams like Villa, Newcastle, even you can put Forest to that extent if you want. If you if they want to invest and try to become one of the big clubs in the world, and you really restricted them, it's like it's the same with, for example, why Tom, the Birmingham City owner, Tom Van spoke the other day actually that the Premier League clubs should not be falling down to the EFL Championship clubs. He said the EFL should have its own global broadcasting deal with either Netflix or even Amazon to try to, for the EFL altogether to try to have a sustainable.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a fantastic suggestion. I think it's certainly a manner that you go around, and you certainly try find means to expedite the business and try, like, obviously from some elements you want the financial side to be better because we're trying to reduce a horrible gap. Like, you want the Premier League to be exciting. You don't want the same three teams to go up and go down all the time.
No, of course
It's
not.
it's really bad. So they have to change that, and that's why I absolutely think if you're going to have PSR or whatever means to do it, the way they set it up for sure, not just about changing it, but they really need to be firm on it, and they actually need to iron out exactly how it applies and stop being crooked with how it comes across because they favor a shitload. That has to change.
Yeah, yeah, definitely has to change as well completely. Do you know what I could see happening by the next decade? By the next decade, I can see the Premier League. Like I said, I feel like the Premier League will take over the Championship, become Premier League 2, and I feel like the EFL will look at just to buy out the national leagues to make that part of the system. That's what it feels like it's going to happen. If because the 3 p.m. blackout is slowly, because I've noticed a lot. When I've been watching games on Premier Sports, when I watched the Madrid job, I thought it's like usually 3 o'clock. I thought you could watch it because of the blackout. Finally watch, I think the look as the element is a change now. It's slowly now look like
Mhm.
we are coming to the end of this blackout rule where we can watch all the other games. So there is a change. Why I think Tom Baggett was said what he said earlier this week, which made so much sense. Thinking, no, the Premier League, the Premier League doesn't need to follow it out to the Championship clubs. Why, in a way? Yes, I know having an independent footballer could help, but it ain't gonna make no difference. We need something has to change. So
Yeah, like with all due respect to the EFL Championship, it's not the Premier League club's responsibility to save the championship. It's not.
no,
Like
it's
it's
themselves.
yeah, it's a
It's the
governing body.
EFL altogether.
Exactly. Like this is why people who had a go at like Man United and Man City for not getting involved with clubs that are sadly no longer around. Oh, they should be putting money in because the clubs are from Manchester or the Manchester area. No, because it's not their responsibility. Like it's never their responsibility. It's the same with people blaming Rangers and Celtic for not getting involved when Gretna died. It's not their fault.
No,
Like it's nothing to do with them. It's not Rangers or Celtic or Aberdeen or Hearts' fault or even Hibs' fault that Inverness went in administration. They're now out of administration, but that's not on. It's not on them. If Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Atletico Madrid went under, it's not on La Liga to save them. It's themselves to save them. Like there's stuff like that. But Bayern Munich go under, it's not up to Borussia Dortmund, even though Borussia Dortmund have been saved by Bayern Munich several times in the past.
yeah,
Like Bayern chose to help Dortmund. Dortmund have a choice to save Bayern. They don't have to do it. Should there be a common courtesy? Yes, but governing bodies need to be wiser when it comes to the football economic side because they are killing clubs and they're expecting other clubs to save them because it's goodwill. It doesn't help as well that you've got owners that are sister clubs as well. Now, I like the sister club network; it's good for developing players and all that, but that shouldn't stop those clubs from competing in competitions as well.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like they should still be allowed to compete, but if you're actually owning these clubs, you need to at least be separate from them. Like, don't like if you're separate in the sense, like for example, like the City Group with Girona and all that. Like the Man City owners obviously should not be involved. You know what I mean? It should just be like it's just the directors of City, directors of Girona, and you actually have to present correctly to the governing body. Same with like the Red Bull Group.
yeah,
You can't have them involved in say transfer negotiations. It's got to be above board, and it can't be undercutting the market. Like it's got to be legit. You know what I mean? So same with Chelsea with like Strasbourg and all that stuff. Like it's got to be legit.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. uh,
I mean, the funny thing is, why is Lord Sugar making Jamie Redknapp apologize after Redknapp told the truth?
exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. Like he told the truth.
Like last time I checked, Spurs were in absolute chaos. That's how Daniel Levy got in,
Yeah,
and that either that's a joke or that if that's serious or a joke, I will laugh because I'm sorry, but Alan Sugar left Tottenham in a dire mess. The only good thing he ever did was bring Klinsmann to the Premier League.
yeah.
That's it. That's the only good thing Alan Sugar's ever done.
The worst bad thing he ever did was being Christian Gross when he had that press conference. He showed his ticket. The truth that it was like, Slugster was like, "What the fuck am I? What the fuck have I brought in?"
Oh yeah, 100%. Absolute weirdo. But yeah, if he's honestly made Jamie Redknapp apologise, that is absolutely funny.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's up there now with the former Blackpool manager who had an obsession with well Ronaldo, the anatomy, and obviously the
Oh yeah, I
certain
forget it.
bits. Ian Holloway, what
Ian
was it?
Holloway, that's what. Yeah,
Yeah, like his anatomy press conference interview about Ronaldo and Rooney, which is just absolutely just hilarious. Or Nigel Pearson who gets interrupted by a phone call and then he answers the phone anyway.
yeah.
Or or you've got
Call
the
someone ostrich. Yeah,
yeah, or the last one that's absolutely funny that I'll never forget is painful game, obviously, but the Champions League final in 2011, that reporter asking Sir Alex Ferguson if you had a blank check, if you could sign any player from that Barcelona team, who would you sign? And he says that's the most stupid question he's ever heard. That's how you know Sir Alex Ferguson as a manager was finished as well, because
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it was after that press conference when he said he reiterated again there's no value in the market, when David Villa was right there and David Villa just mugged him for 90 minutes. And I'm
I know.
like we could have signed him, by the way, and you chose not to, saying there's no value in the market. So there's another home truth. But yeah, that game set him apart, but it was absolutely funny.
Yeah, absolutely. It was funny. It's funny for me as well, actually, to see that get
Yeah.
smashed. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Do you know what? Let's get on to the Champions League and the Europa League and Conference League results this past week. We start off with Liverpool losing 1-0 at Galatasaray. That it was a tough week for it's been a tough week for Liverpool after losing to Palace. You know, going back to that's the first back-to-back defeats, probably under Arne Slot. Actually, it, he left Salah on the bench after but they couldn't deal with the noise in Turkey in Istanbul. Alice is off injured because he saved, but like I said, Osman gave a penalty when some side did tackle Alper Yilmaz down, which surprised him, but in a way, Liverpool really struggled against Galatasaray. What's your take on it? Are they going for a bit of a try? Yeah, the smugness on your face says it all. But seriously, is this transition going to take a lot longer than we anticipated?
I'm gonna say something that I said last week that I also said to a friend of mine that's part of my podcast, like my wrestling. I'm gonna say the exact same thing. Liverpool are a fluky champion, like plain and simple, and the reason being is Liverpool are generally not a good team. They've got good players, but they're not playing good football, and I actually do not know what that is. Like, they've replaced players that were generally on the way out. They've still got a strong squad, but they just can't seem to play football, and it's ridiculous. Now, one thing I will say is absolutely funny is, and this is testament to European football, that was never a penalty for Galatasaray.
No.
That was a penalty for Liverpool. And it's even funnier that Galatasaray got the one that wasn't given, and Liverpool's one that was supposed to be given was not given at all.
Mm,
That's funny. And that's the shit that I've been trying to tell Liverpool fans for a long time. This is the shit that I deal with as a Man United fan, but it's always, but you've had refs for years. Don't start that nonsense. Our clubs are both as bad for it. So you can't use that argument against me. But it's just funny. But like, when you look at the game in general, it doesn't matter if it was a penalty for Galatasaray, a penalty for Liverpool, not a penalty for Gala, not a penalty for Liverpool. I still think Liverpool would have lost that game anyway. But I actually don't think Liverpool did enough to even get involved in the game. I actually think Galatasaray did. The problem for Liverpool as well is Galatasaray, the minute Galatasaray score, Galatasaray are very good at holding leads.
yeah, they are. And I've seen that before. In Europe, they're always good at holding, and they did that against
Yeah.
Man United years ago. And I
Hmm.
remember I thought, you're not gonna, yeah,
Yeah. But it was, for some reason, and I don't know why, Premier League clubs overlook Galatasaray in Istanbul. I don't understand it at all. Like, look at Premier League clubs that actually go to they go to Galatasaray and win. It's very, very rare. The Galatasaray can come here and get sparked. That's common. Galatasaray have a bad record in England,
yeah,
but English clubs in Istanbul against them don't have a good record.
no,
And it's embarrassing that Premier League clubs have this so-called divine right, thinking they can just go over there and steamroll them. No,
no, they can't.
I knew Liverpool were not going to beat Galatasaray. I said it with confidence. Like, it was just not going to happen. And that's why I say every time when I see Man United fans, whenever United are actually in Europe, and we get Galatasaray, and United fans are like, "Oh, we're going to go win there," and I sit there going, "It's either going to be a 0-0, a 1-1, or Galatasaray are going to win 1-0. Like, we're not going to win. Like, we don't win in Istanbul. Like, it's just so damn funny that they have these divine right." And people say the same thing about Fenerbahce. It's the same thing.
Same
It,
thing, yeah.
like Turkish clubs make people think like the Boca Juniors River Plate environment's hostile. People think Lazio Roma the Olimpico is hostile. People think the Milan derby, when it's actually at its heat, its most heat, is is that La Liga when Real Madrid versus either Madrid or Real Madrid versus Atletico or Madrid versus Barca's hostile. Fuck me, if you've never watched the Galatasaray versus Fenerbahce, if you've never watched that, you've never lived, and that includes the old firm.
Yeah.
Like you've if you've never watched Galatasaray versus Fenerbahce, you don't know what a derby feels like.
No, none of us
It's
know. None
so
of us know.
it's so incredibly hostile, but it's a bloody good watch.
Yeah.
It's a bloody good watch. But yet Liverpool, I don't think Liverpool did enough to win, and I think the minute that penalty was scored, it was curtains.
Yeah, absolutely. It was curtains closed
But
for them.
it's a good team. Like Liverpool got a good team. I just don't know what's going on with them right now. Either Arne Slot is struggling, and I don't think that's the case. But I think the players they've signed, do they really fit Liverpool? I said it about Frimpong. Frimpong's a very good player, but Frimpong was doing right wing back and right wing duties for Leverkusen under Alonso because Alonso trusted him. He allowed the likes of Hoffman or Hlojek to come in from that right wing and play as an inside 10 so Frimpong can have the flanks.
Yeah.
Frimpong has got right back, right wing, and Mo Salah in front of him. It doesn't work. Newsflash, Liverpool would be a better team with Connor Bradley at right back. Just saying. And I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen, but it's a simple fact. If you want to play a back four with Liverpool, Connor Bradley is a much more effective right back than Frimpong.
Yeah.
Frimpong would be better in a back three or Mo Salah playing as a front two. And then you can just play Frimpong up there on his own. Like I said at the start of the season, Liverpool in a diamond midfield with Frimpong bombing forward, Salah as one of the front two. It's funny that Liverpool right now, yes, where they are, but they're proving me right. They're proving me right every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he will. I agree with that. Frimpong will start right when Salah goes AFCON.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was thinking as well. I was thinking that and I'm glad Chris hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
He will. I think that's the only reason why he was signed. And I think that's the problem. I think, quite frankly, Frimpong should have been signed. I understand that, but they should have signed a right back as well. Like a more natural right back because they look so exposed on that side.
Yeah.
They did well left back though, by the way. Like, I rate the left back signings they've made. They've done that correct. At right back, nah. Like right back is a problem for Liverpool, and it was the same as last season with Alexander Arnabeshk, as I call him now, who's absolutely useless. Like it's not hard, but like this is the problem with managers nowadays: is managers overcomplicate their football, and it's ridiculous. Yes, Salah not good enough as a winger anymore. He
Yeah.
should be an inside forward, play next to a striker.
Yeah.
Like,
That's something I have questioned because I don't when I look at because I thought when I put because I've taken Salah out of my fantasy team actually it just
mm,
felt to me I had no choice. I had to say I don't even though before we get to Chelsea I don't care. He's not a midfield. He's not a winger in my eyes. Where I put him in a play in the 3-4-3 and I just look at it for. So I've taken him out of my side finally for the first time because I thought he has been good enough. You know, there's other players that's got better value in my fantasy football team, and I like he's not. He's been missing. He has been missing the last couple of games. So I just, as I said, Liverpool gets Chelsea today. It's going to be interesting because, like I said, Chelsea. We'll get up to Chelsea shortly, but with Liverpool's woes at the moment, yeah, it's huge worry. You're not getting the best out of Verts or Isaac at the moment, and I think that's another issue they need to really reduce. Did you buy a team of a team that you support, or are you getting a team of individuals that's supposed to be as an individual at the moment? And I think it's more the latter that I've just said just now. So I just think Slot has got to. use this international break at this moment. If they don't beat Chelsea, they say, "What do I need to change? What am I doing wrong?" Because that's something he needs to do now before after the international break comes back. Because after that, we've got one more international break in November, and then what he's going to do now until Salah goes to AFCON, when so he's got a lot to deal with.
Yeah, if you look at Liverpool, like fully strength squad, right? If you look at Liverpool full strength, like their best players in general, say they've got no injuries, right? Now I can't stand Liverpool, and I hate the fact I'm actually doing this. I'm a big fan of McAllister, to be fair,
Yeah,
to be fair, I like their whole midfield. I just hate the fact they play for Liverpool, especially Endo and McAllister. Szoboszlai, that one bugged me a lot. But see if you look at your team, well, in sense of like the fully fit team, like even I don't understand Szoboszlai playing at right back, but he actually does suit the role as a creator.
yeah,
So if you look at Liverpool as a fully strength team, I would say I'm just doing something quickly, then I'll share screen if you don't mind.
yeah. Share the screen. Yeah,
I'll just do this. If you've got Liverpool full strength at full strength, I think that he'll probably depends. Do you want to play him there?
and Doug just made a good point, and I think
You did. That's another one. I agree with that 100%.
and Maresca brought it up. Maresca made more sense when he said that. I thought it does make more sense. I think it's been affecting the players, and I think there's just that. I think they're not really recovered, and I know it was so the way how it happened, and I think it's affected the players' mentality as well. Mentally of can they got it's about try to challenge it to do something, to try to do it, to win, to retain the Premier League title and do it in the Champions League, and I think Salah's been more the effective person than any of the local players I've noticed.
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm. So now I've got two players in separate positions, but that's only because I found one player at the minute who's been absolutely dreadful for Liverpool in terms of getting like a goal or assist will eventually come good. But if I look at Liverpool's squad right now, I think in general, if you've got him potentially, you'll still be in that position, but potentially as a backup. I think this is Liverpool's best lineup. If I'm being honest, I'll just
yeah,
quickly share the screen now. See what you guys think. But that's what I think is Liverpool's. Obviously, there's too many characters. I cannot spell. I'm not going to put Szoboszlai as a full number on that side. But I do like Endo. You either play Endo or Gravenberch in the six, and whoever plays in that role, and obviously your decision on the right of the central midfield is determined. I think that's Liverpool's best team.
yeah. That I think for what I've seen, looking at it now, I'm seeing it, and I don't know, and I will see what Doug and Chris will say. But the way the diamond shape is, it just makes so much sense. Playing
Yeah,
Burts behind the back too, and
yeah,
and it's still technically a 4-3-3 in
hmm
a way, but you
exactly.
play Burts behind, so
You could put him at pure as centre forward. Isak, Salah could drop off,
yeah,
and then Verts goes central. Then you just push McAllister, Szoboszlai. You've got this bit here. You then move into that transition. You could end up moving into like that. So you've got a 2-3-2-3 in attack.
yeah.
Again, I can't believe I'm doing this. This makes me sick.
I know it makes you physically sick. Yeah,
But like, it's genuinely they're much better like this, and it's not hard to see why. Like they are genuinely. I don't think it's not the sense of the 4-3-3 is dying for Liverpool. It's not.
no,
It's Liverpool's squad is so heavily central players now
yeah,
that you're forcing them to play out wide when it's not even the best call.
no,
That's why I genuinely. That's why I think United are the same. Like, United are the same problem as Liverpool. United have got good players to play in so many ways, but they're actually better with stacking the midfield. Yeah,
yeah.
the Netherlands do play a diamond.
They
Yeah,
do. Yeah, mm.
yeah. Bradley at right back. I'm thinking like I do think Connor Bradley is your best right back in the
I think at
circumstances.
this, yeah, he's probably the more better suited right back. Frimpong's more further, like you said, on the wings. That
Yeah,
yeah,
And I do think as well in strength, I'm moving on my third monitor just so I can keep working on it. But like, you look at Liverpool in a nutshell, and they've got such a clever team where they can play. You can play the back four. You can play that diamond in a sense of it. I think in certain games you want to play like in certain games you want to play Endo so you can get Gravenberch further upfield to play more creative in that position.
Yeah,
And there's some games where you can afford to play Gravenberch as the holding midfielder. Then you can play Soboslai. You can stack it. McAllister is never really going to get dropped unless he gets injured or he's got a bad run of form. He's such an incredible footballer. And then you've got Kirkes over Robertson because I think Robertson has come down a bit. I think
yeah,
I think I still think Robertson is an effective left back, but I do think Kirkes right now is the better option to go on with on the long term. But that's Liverpool, and you could say the same basically for United. If I'd done the exact same thing for the United team, so like you look at the United team right now, same. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go back to the unfortunate system. But even as a back three, you put Frimpong say in that position, or Bradley as the right centre back. Already they're stronger, but you look at the Man United team right now. Unfortunately, so the Man United team right now is Sesko. Then you've got Mbuemo here. This is tactical hour. I don't really do this as much.
Cunha, yeah. No, that's fine. This is
But then,
interesting.
but then you got Dorgu. You've got Ugarte, Casemiro, which is baffling on its own. You got Fernandez. You got Menu, who deserves more minutes. And then up here you've got Dimwit, or you've got Matsraoui.
Yeah,
And just for saying sake, Mbuemo or Ahmad, because
yeah,
I think he's good in that position. But you've got that in that sense, and obviously the back three, say for full strength squad if they're all available, Delit,
delay, yeah,
and then probably on the right, Euro.
yeah.
And then goal, well, I'm just gonna say who fucking
Ooh, for the full, ooh, the full fucking cares. Yeah,
because our goalkeepers right now are a joke, and we should have signed a proper goalkeeper.
I
Not
know.
I don't. I've got shame for Lamens. I feel bad for him, but like in the circumstance. But that's United currently right now. They play that 3-4-2-1, but it's more like higher up in the sense
Higher
of
up, yeah,
the problem with that is this right here doesn't work because Ugarte never seems to last, so he has to move back a bit. Martin is a great defender, but he keeps getting injured. Euro is young, but he at least bounces out. And then Delit, well, I don't rate Delit. I think Delit's a good centre back, but I think he doesn't suit the Premier League. Sesko has got so much pressure already, but he's a good striker. But then you've got a good striker who's stuck. So how do you fix it? You could play it like this. Obviously, not in those players anyway, but like
yeah.
you've already fixed that because you've got Dimwit over there.
Yeah,
Dorgo,
yeah, yeah,
Euro Delit. Martinez, you flip him, although their numbers are absolutely stupid. You take out there, all of a sudden, Martinez becomes Kobe Menu.
yeah.
Fernandez stays Fernandez. And then right here, right beside him, there's Casemiro. Easy. Sorted. Man United midfield fixed if Amarim just has a set of balls between his legs. Or,
Mm.
easy said than done. Check. Check. Check.
Yeah, this is I like. This is interesting. I like. We should do this more with the tactics build up. How? Yeah, I kind of like this. It makes people,
I think right now, considering the fact Man United are limited on midfield,
yeah,
you got Collier here, potentially. Casemiro in that position, Manu still in the holding role. Cunha or Fernandez, or even yet still, you could still play that, or even instead of Collier, you try him out as a left-sided midfielder.
mm,
You could give Ahmad a chance. in that role. It's like people are too afraid to give it a go, but I'm like, and it's all a bit like that situation. I think Man United need a box midfield. They do. Another thing as well, and this is what Antonio Conte now does with his Napoli side. They now play a 4-1-4-1. And who's benefiting the most? It's Zambo Anguissa.
Yep.
Like, this is how Napoli play now. They went from a 4-3-3 to the 4-1-4-1.
McTominay, yep.
He's thriving in that role.
Yep,
And then,
he is.
right beside him.
KDB, yep.
And then you've got up front
Hoyland, yep.
Hoyland.
Lukaku, yep. Lukaku did that. Yeah.
Luka Kardashian returns.
Yep.
And then obviously they've still got like their front three. I ain't changing them all. But they play that box midfield now.
Yeah.
In that 4-1-4-1 because they want the more midfielders rather than wide players. And it works because they've got control.
Yes.
And the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1, they're great. But they're not everything.
No.
You don't need everything. You just need the right balance. So that's why Liverpool should consider. I thought Liverpool were going to, when Liverpool signed Frimpong, to answer Chris's question, I thought Liverpool were going to play a back three when they signed Frimpong. And if you look at it, if they're going to play it, I don't think it's a 3-4-3.
No.
I do agree. I think it's a 3-4.
1-2 formation.
That's what I would go with. Yeah, I think you should play the holding player. You look at your team now. So I'm going to keep the same goalkeeper because, quite frankly, for Liverpool right now, it really doesn't matter who the goalkeeper is. They're both good.
Yeah.
But you've got Gravenberch. Fixing Liverpool's team makes me feel sick.
How long are you going to keep doing it? Because I know you want to just, yeah.
I'm at that point now where I'm stuck in the mindset now of like fixing teams. Isak, Salah, and then in the midfield you play 100% McAllister, their best central midfield player in my opinion. And then beside him, well, you could play Szoboszlai, or you could play Endo.
Yep.
Or you go crazy and you put
I would say versus more better when it's played behind the front two. I've always known that that's his best position.
Yeah. And that's already there. And then you've got obviously the back three is obviously
Van Dijk.
On the right, I would probably say Konate.
Yep.
And then when he's back to full fitness, which will be next year,
Lenoni, yeah. At this current moment, if they get Matt Guay, that might change.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. They do need a left-sided player in there, but like you could also, to be fair, you can go ballsy.
Robertson, yeah.
A left-sided cover, and he could still bomb upfield. Like it wouldn't hurt them at all. It would actually do a lot because then Kerkez can still learn off Robertson as well in the same team, pushing him forward. But that's them in circumstance. And to be fair, there's games where you can do that. It does work. I don't think Liverpool should do this though.
No.
I don't think that works.
No, I don't think it works at the moment. No, it doesn't. It will do the way versus Mo's been more played off the striker, behind the striker. He's but not in that formation. And even Robertson or Tini, they play in the back three for Scotland as well, like Chris just mentioned. Yeah, that is true. So
yeah, when Scotland do play three at the back, Tierney does play left-sided centre-back. He has played at left centre-back sometimes in a back four as well. I actually think, and I've said this to Doug before a few times, for me going forward, it should be Tierney and Josh Doig for left-back.
Yeah.
Because I think Robertson's time has come in, but he's still a fantastic crossover ball, so it's hard to really say when's the time to drop from the squad. But like, I think is at that point, I wouldn't mind Tierney as the left, as if it's Tierney at left centre back and it's Doig and Robertson at left back compete for each other. I wouldn't mind that either. I think that because we've got three fantastic left backs, which has not happened in a long time.
Yeah.
But like that's how if Liverpool play like this, you can see growth in their team, and there's natural there as well. So like you can still play one slightly higher, and then you could have it like that,
Yeah.
where it does look like a three man midfield, but it doesn't because Salah can just cut in, and then Frimpong. But Frimpong doesn't need to do this
No.
because he's got
Yeah.
this and he's got this,
Yeah.
unless this becomes that.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, Kanate is extremely injury prone. But like,
Injury prone, he's not being focused as much, and I would say Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid will go get him.
yeah, I think
And he's
so.
been learning Spanish as well. So he said that he's been using Duolingo. I'm like, yeah, you're going to Madrid, mate. If you're not,
Yeah. Also, as well, it's becoming a new thing as well when teams play free at the back as well. Some clubs do this as well, where you've got two here.
yeah,
Like Pep done it because he stole it from Xavi.
yeah,
But like this seems to become a new meta as well with the 3-2-4-1.
yeah.
Like I don't know what anyone says, but if I saw this playing against me, I would freak. Like I would panic if I saw this in front of me.
Mm,
Like these are the sorts of things that like constantly in my brain because I'm thinking about this all the time for United. But like when you look at Liverpool's squad, I don't think Liverpool are good enough to play a 4-3-3 anymore.
no, I think that is done. That is now it's done.
Yeah.
It's like what Pep's trying. He's trying to change a bit what's going on at City. He's not playing like he was the 4-3-3. He's becoming a little bit more. Yeah, and that's something like teams like Liverpool need to do if they to move away. I, I just the way you keep you changing it a lot. You see the way they're playing, and that's why we've seen now like when the new Football Manager game comes out, they're gonna have out of possession or player roles who to do, and it's gonna be based on what like you just have you been jiggling around a bit with everything, you know.
Exactly. And you've also got that as well. This whole narrow. I do like this a lot as well, and that's because of the likes of Nagelsmann has been doing it with the German squad, and weirdly enough, Steve Clark, even though he should be the Leeds manager, he
Shut it, you.
he has copied this recently as well, but he plays a winger as one of the forwards. I like this 4-2-3-1 with three tens because I think Salah could play as more like the box crasher, like type
Yeah,
role. You can get in the central. You got McAllister and Gravenberg as the holding players. Verts and I would say at this point I would say Szoboszlai
yeah,
as the more wide tens, but that allows Isak to stay up front as a focal point, and then you've got two wide tens who come in, and it keeps Verts in the same role he plays for the German squad anyway.
yeah,
But there's so much control, and if you wanted to play it with, I said earlier on about the three if Nagelsmann chose to play the same system, it's the exact right there. Except obviously Salah and I would put that in the middle. It's just as strong.
true. Where would you put Ikitike? That's a good question. I was thinking about that. There's one player else he's missing now. Where would Ikitike play? Would he play where Salah is? Pretty much.
I think Ekitike naturally just rotates for Isak.
Yeah,
I think right now, like Salah playing in that inverted 10 role or
mm.
would work for him because it protects the fact that he is aging.
Yeah, yes,
It does-
exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yeah,
And it still allows him to be a weapon. So like it's all about the comfort of your team and they still because they've got so many aggressive players, they can still play a realistic high line. It still works. But that's whereas if he can want to, he can drift out.
yeah.
Although to be fair, you can do Verts like coming in on his right foot from
Right
here.
foot. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because Salah's well is with his left foot on play on the right, and yeah, I was thinking about that. Would you swap those around onto the with their preferred foot on the other side, which
Mhm.
is yeah,
Yeah, and this is what I was saying earlier on. This is like about Amorim's system that I would change. It's the same thing. Like if you're looking at it from that sense, like I would change the same thing right here. It's so effective for him, but I think he's just missing. I think he's just missing the trick, and I don't know why he's missing the trick, but I think it's the obsession kills, and it's decided to go off the tab. That's not what I wanted. Um, Playing him off the left or moving him into 10.
Delete Euro, delete on that side, Euro on the right. Yep.
Yeah, and then straight through the middle. Like that's same thing, and I'm like, why did I don't know why managers like Mourinho said it recently very well. Managers who stick to system and die by their system and only say it that way, they're going to come back to haunt them.
Yep.
Like, and there's no point. Like, be flexible. Like, and it's wild. Like, that's your team. That's not. There you go.
Yep. See that?
But you can also put them in the same way
Aye.
into that role, or if you want to stretch teams, you can put
Yep.
them out in the wing as well. Like, it's not hard, but managers overcomplicate. I think that's why managers like Ancelotti is timeless because he doesn't care about systems. He sets his teams up to play good football, but everyone knows their roles and they've got some flexibility to maintain individualism. And I
Yeah.
think that's important. I think this is why some managers will constantly win trophies because they're not. It's okay to have a system and change it about. It's okay to do that, but you need to be able to have a backup option if your main system does get fought out in a match. If you do get fought out, it's always good to be smart,
Yeah. Very much so.
and some of them just don't. That's why he is so much under pressure.
Aye. Well, Reese, thank you for your tactical spotlight. I think that was very much vocal, especially we were talking about the results of the Champions League and we're off that. And I think this was a very insight that we needed to go into, probably for the first time. I mean, maybe we should do that every now and again. We will
Yeah,
talk about certain teams as well going
yeah,
during the course of the season, and that would be very good as well.
I
So,
like that. Yeah, absolutely, and you can do it for other teams as well. This is how it's the same way that Dortmund bottled the 4 goal lead against Juventus.
yeah,
It's the same thing. It's why Juventus are in trouble as well because Juventus are so heavy on the press, but they're exhausted by the 60-minute mark.
yeah, very much. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually. We'll finish quickly on the other results in the European competitions. Chelsea beating Benfica 1-0. You know, even though it was an own goal, João Pedro got that second yellow card as well.
Hmm.
It's the third is they're losing a bit of discipline, Chelsea, at the moment with everything that these last couple of games.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they need to rein their head in. If they can do that, they'll be fine.
Absolutely. And Tottenham got a late draw against Bodø/Glimt. Should have Spurs lost in Norway?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, they should have lost by a mile. That.
absolutely. Atalanta finally beat Club Brugge 2-1 earlier this week. That was a shocking result. We thought Club Brugge was going to win that, but
We
good
did.
result for Atalanta on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it was a good result. I still think overall that squad is needing a real replenishment.
Yeah, they do as well. Newcastle beat Union SG 4-0. Are we seeing the Newcastle of old a little bit now after the summer they've had? Are we seeing them coming back to their best?
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like they're finding their feet again, and that's not good at all. That's not good.
Not good at all. PSG beating Barcelona 2-1, a late winner from Garnacho Ramos. But Barcelona paid the price for playing the high line, and PSG, and every PSG are favourites again to retain the title.
Mm-hmm. This the crazy thing is both teams playing such a high line, but PSG are more solid, I think, defensively. But both sides have got great managers who'll figure shit out. They play
Yeah,
fantastic football. It's crazy that that was the winning result. I didn't think it was. I thought it was going to be a high scoring draw, but
yeah,
it was still a great match in general. The whole thing about Lamine Yamal like, oh, he pocketed Nuno Mendes and all that, and they're like, oh, he did that. I was like, yeah, he did in the first minute. What happened for the rest of the game?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, he's the best left back in the world for a reason. Like, this guy, he might let you get past him once. That's it. Like, this guy is so good, and it's crazy how much he's developed. It's unreal.
Mm.
It's crazy. But
It's
like, he's out again because of that issue with with his
yeah.
groinal area. Like, whatever's going on with him, if he's in too many hedges,
Exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
if he's in too many hedges, he needs to get a trimmer.
Yeah.
or or he gets Will still.
Oh god, oh god. Monaco drawing 2-2 against Man City late with a controversial penalty. Was that the right penalty decision or not?
Yes, for me it was actually. Just for sticking it to them.
Okay, I'll leave it to that one. Napoli beat Sporting 2-1 late on as well. Hoyland scored in the 79th minute. Are they really the dark horses for this season's Champions League?
I think they'll do well. I think Conte's finally learning. You know what I mean? Like, it's took him a long time, but I think he's finally learning that his style of football is good to do midweek and league. He just needs to be able to rotate his team strongly and not live up. And I think the fact is they had a bad result against Milan at the weekend, but they didn't play bad at all. Like, it's the fact is, even when Milan went down to 10 men, Milan were prepared. I don't think Napoli were, but I think Napoli are getting there for both the league and the Champions League, and I think they'll do well. I think they'll
Yeah.
do well in Europe.
Okay. All right then. Going to the Europa League and the Conference League. Celtic losing 2-0 to Braga. Do you think that in actual goal should have been stood?
Yeah, I'll say that one time only for Celtic. He's got robbed.
Okay, let's speak about Roma's free penalty save. They lost 1-0 to Lille. How the penalty? I'm going to say this again. So the first penalty, the referee on the retake after Roman Perrin was behind the corner, says encroaching to the area, and
Dug that,
also
dug that shit.
double stepped it again. And after the Turkey international goalkeeper, you know, Alyssa, I had so much to say. There's a lot to say actually. Where only for his goalkeeper, his penalty saved again after the visit keeper, but it was just stepped forward too early. And then the third time it happened, it was given to it was denied by Utse, and that was a crazy game.
It just reminds me of Spain versus Paraguay. That's what I was thinking when I was watching those pens. I was like, "Are we going to get another one?" I just couldn't stop laughing. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Well, Aston Villa beating 5-0 2-0. Was that a better result for Villa after, we've seen them slowly now start to kickstart the season?
Yeah, we are. It's just, can they maintain it? That's the only thing. If they can maintain it, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and finally, your Rangers losing to Strom Graz 2-1. Again, you've not kept a clean sheet in Europe for quite a long time. Is this a worry now?
It's Russell Martin.
Yeah.
He never changes his dirty knickers.
Okay, let's say more
And
about that in a minute.
that's this defense. This defense just doesn't clean their shorts, and they're just horrific at the back. They always shit the bed when it matters. They're a
Yeah.
And the minute he's gone, it'll be worth it. The guy needs to go. He's so shit as a manager, and
Mm,
he's been given chance after chance after chance, and he's nearly 10 points behind Celtic already, and Hearts. I'm pretty sure they are 10 points.
yeah, yeah.
So like, it says it all. So stuff Russell Martin,
All right.
you lovely bearded fraud.
Aberdeen losing 3 to at home to shut to the rest. Aberdeen could have got something out of this game. Very close. Do you think that they were a bit more positive than negatives the last in this game?
No, I think even if they'd scored the third goal and they finished 4-3, I don't think there's any positives for Aberdeen. I think Aberdeen are gone now when it comes to feeling and anything above him. I think they need to figure themselves out. They might need to part ways. I don't know,
With
but
Jimmy Talent, yeah. Mm.
yeah, it's gone wrong. for them.
Yeah, it has gone wrong for them as well. And Crystal Palace continue their open start, winning 2-0 at Dimir Curious. I get, like I said, they're living up to they're living up to, as they've been unbeaten so much in all competitions this season, up to 19 now. Is there where anyone can stop in that conference league this season?
I don't know. I really don't know. The crazy thing is that they're still unbeaten, and look at the teams they've actually got good results against. The question of, I think the question now is not when's it going to end, who's going to end it?
Yeah,
Because if Liverpool can't do it, City didn't do it, Arsenal didn't do it,
Chelsea didn't do it.
Chelsea didn't do it, Man United won't do it. Like it could end. It could end this weekend for all we know. But right now, it doesn't look like it's stopped because there's such a good core unit. And you look at the insult on Palace they got when people were like, "Oh, they sold Elise, they sold Eze, they were going to fall behind." No, they're getting better and better. And Mateta is generally one of the most effective strikers in the league right now.
Yeah,
And I agree with what Sam Allardyce said the other day, which is a rare thing. He was on a podcast with Rennie Mullenstein, and I think it was the No Tippy Tappy podcast.
no tippy tappy. Yeah, no tippy tappy. Yeah,
He was on that, and they were talking about signings that Man United should have made. And he's like, I don't know why Man United did not sign Mateta when the big nine is coming back into football. Basically, he's like, why did Man United go for Mateta? And in a way, I'm not like a massive Mateta fan, but I do agree. Like he's a brilliant centre forward. He knows how to hold the play. He's a great finisher. He knows his position really well. It's crazy how
mm,
how well they are. And Kamada's been an excellent player for them, especially in the central role when he's normally an attacking midfielder.
yeah.
He's played well in that role. Pino's decent. Sarr, he's been all right actually, but they're
Aye,
but people writing off Glasner and Palace in so many ways, and I'm not saying when's it going to end because I don't think it's a good enough run. I'm saying who's going to end it because even some of the best teams in the league haven't been able to. And Dynamo Kiev are not a bad team either, so that says
no.
a lot as well. So
It says a lot completely as well, actually. Oh, just Leeds just hit the post. Just against Spurs, Leeds have started brightly. Actually, Joe Rondon for free kick was fired towards far post mid road and hit the woodwork, very close to open for Leeds. So looks like Spurs are just slowly sort of being slow with the first 7 minutes of the game. So yeah,
it's bad for Spurs as well because Spurs have lost the last 7 games before the international break in a row.
yeah, they have. That
Like,
is a bad record. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. But you know what? While we finish the show then, because I'll be seeing you probably over the next hour and a bit because you're coming all the way to come watch the other Edinburgh Derby before the big Edinburgh Derby at 7:45. Before we do that, who do you think is going to win, Hearts or Hibs?
I think Hearts will win this one. To be honest, I think when you look at how the season started, I think McInnes has got them playing some good football. Um, I do have relatives that are Hearts fans, but I'm not basing my prediction on that. I'm just thinking that the way they've started the season really well. But the problem is, though, it's a derby. Anything can happen in a derby. Hearts might turn up and get absolutely steamrolled by Hibs, but I don't think so. I think Arsenal, I think Chris is saying 1-0 Arsenal. Is that a prediction or is it they've just scored?
Oh, Doug said 2-1 Hearts for the prediction. 1-0 Arsenal. That's for the prediction.
Mm.
So
I just think I've got nothing against Hibs anyway. I think Hibs are a decent side, but I think Hearts have started the season far too well, and it's still funny that Craig Gordon's been recalled to the Scotland squad. But
yeah,
like in essence, though, I still say like Hearts have started the season well. It's hard to stop them at the minute. I think I think they'll beat Hibs. I don't think it's going to be a battering though. I think, like Doug says, like 1 goal in it.
yeah.
I think it'll be that tight. I'm just going to go 1-0. I think 1-0 Hearts. But they'll shut them out. They'll shut Hibs out, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is Doug,
Reese,
is Doug coming, by the way?
Doug, yeah, I think Doug's definitely coming. He should be coming. If he's coming to AZ Park, he told me he should be fine. So we'll hopefully, like I said, both of you meet at my flat. We'll go what behind my flat, and then we're there. I've got my ticket already, so you guys can buy a ticket at the gate. There's still tickets available. So yeah,
Haymarket or Waverley?
Waverley will be more easier. Get the 27, catch the number 27 bus, and you get off just at before either at you can get off at before Morrison's, and that's it at West Windmill Stray. You got my address, you know where I am. You'll find it. Yeah,
Sounds good. So, game starts at 3.
3 o'clock. Yeah.
Right, I will. Let me just look at train times.
Well, we'll go through the trains on today. So after the weather we had yesterday, so we think
That,
we all yeah.
that's what I said to Doug last night. Because I was talking about 27 routes affected. Oh shit!
Only not as what your bus.
I'm not getting a bus anywhere. But no, they're saying 27 routes. The journey. Okay, let's see what journeys are cancelled. The train at 1:03, 1:30, and 4:07 are cancelled, but I can get the train at 2:30, but it doesn't get me into Waverley until 2:45.
Half two. Tell you what, because
Half two,
yeah.
2:30 train. Yeah, there's like even like the South Line is bad. Like I physically can't get a. That's at 2:10, and it gets me to Waverley at 2:35.
That was still good time. No, you still have time. Yeah, because all you need to do is walk down past Scott Monument, and then at the gallery, the 27 bus comes regularly, and you should be there. Yeah,
So if I get the train from Levy South, then okay. How are the trains looking when I get back? Because I've got to make sure I've got my make sure I'm good for my stream tonight as well. That's gonna be
yes, I forgot about as well. Yeah,
so they're saying that's running. Time will the game probably finish? About
about 10 to 5, quarter 5, 10 to 5. Yeah,
so I could get the train just after maybe after 6:30 potentially, depending on weather.
yeah.
All right, okay. I'll get the train at because you don't drive anymore, eh?
Nope, I don't have a car anymore. So yeah,
Yeah. So if I get the train, hit the wrong bloody button again. Shit, that one. Swap that round. There we go. If I get the train, 12 minutes past 2, gets me at Waverley at 2:35.
yeah,
Yeah, and then I just get there straight to the.
yeah. Just to the ground. Yeah, and literally there. So
And get you the gate or something.
yeah, meet me at the gate, and I will. Yeah, so that's
Do
fine.
that then. I'll do
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Meet
Yeah,
me at the gate. No, you should make it. You should make it before because they let people in just even minutes after 3. So
sick. I'll be there for that then.
if not, I'll buy you a ticket in advance for you, and then you can pay me back. So just to be a safe case
How
scenario.
much?
So
How much are tickets to the game?
£18 for the adults, and I think it's £13 for the concession, but it's £80 for the adults. So yeah.
Oh, okay, that's fine. I'll be
Yeah.
there.
All right, cool. Well, I'll see you shortly, Reese. Thank you for joining us today. And usual, we'll be back on next week in about a shorter time because it's the international break, so we're not going to be on for as long. Maybe we could do. We'll see anyway. So
Mm.
yeah. So you're coming from Livy South then, so that's fine. All right then.
Yeah.
I'll see you when I'll meet you there at the gates anyway, and Doug will meet us there as well. So
Sick. I'll
all right.
see. I'll see you then.
Yeah, see you said. Thank you very much, Reese. You know where everyone can find Reese at the Weekly Steel Chair on here on these social channels as well. So please
Pay
follow him as
pay
well,
per
and
view.
also follow. Yeah, sorry. Also follow me as well here on the Saturday show on here on the Total Lever Home Football Podcast. I'll be back on here tomorrow night at 8 p.m. with Michael and Annie tomorrow to talk about the championship review, and then we should me and Doug will be doing. Hopefully, we'll doing our podcast on the 20th. Should be on either Monday night or Tuesday. We'll let you know about then. But everyone have a good weekend. Take care and be safe as well with the weather. But we'll see you guys next week. Take care for now. Bye bye.